Let's see. Come on, partner.
Mitch, as Chuck would say, you need to get used to this position with Chuck. Chuck is hooked up, and that's just where he likes to be.
That is the target
That
species,
is him
boys.
right there. Pretty work,
right
Chuck.
Up that way.
Pretty work, Chuck.
Oh, Captain, pretty work.
Job,
here.
Mitch.
That ought to be about a, what, maybe 4-pounder, 4.5, something like that.
Maybe we'll stay in that range today.
Look at that.
I'm gonna say.
Look at that. Look at that fly right in his mouth, man.
I'm gonna say that is just right.
My buddy,
that's
flies.
my handiwork right there. I will say that. I'll take credit for that one right there.
That's awesome.
Grady White Boats' reputation for designing ruggedly elegant fishing boats is legendary. Our attention to quality, detail, and customer service is unmatched. From our Fisherman 180 and Coastal Explorers series to the unrivaled Canyon 456, you'll find no boat that rides better and offers more fishing amenities. Go ahead, experience fishing at its best. Get the Grady.
Hello, welcome to the Carolina Outdoor Journal. Well, today's program is all about stripers, but Joe, it's kind of unique. There's just a uniqueness about this show.
Well, it is because we're fishing in February. We're targeting striped bass when the water temperature was 39 degrees, and that's what, for anybody that fly fishes will admit to, that is unique. You don't think about targeting striped bass in February with those kind of temperatures. Now, we're coming out of a real cold winter. Again, the water temperature started that morning at 39. Graduated up to about 42 by mid-morning. Air temperature started cold and warmed up a little bit, but we wanted to try it, something different. The fish were holding in 20 feet of water, so they had to use weighted lines, heavier flies, but the fish that were there were hungry, and we caught and had a good morning.
We're going to talk about the equipment in gear time today, and then Donna's got a very special recipe for us today, fish tacos.
Right, she's done a fish taco recipe before. This is something a little different than the past, and again, it's just a different way of preparing fish, and get ready for it.
Well, we got a good fishing program for you today and a great recipe all right here on the Carolina Outdoor Journal.
Well, Tommy, we're up here on the rivers off the Albemarle Sound trying to waylay some of these rockfish before they get to Weldon. We've been stuck in the house in the cabin down at Harker's Island in Morehead City, so it's always good to get up this way. Captain Mitch says he's got some fish stacked up in here, so we're going to get the fly rods out and really see what we can do with them today.
Well, I know, Chuck, you mentioned cabin fever and such, and it's been 4 or 5 weeks for me to even go wet a line. I know you've probably been out one or more times than I have, but yeah, it's great to be here. Mitch, what kind of fish are we going to be looking for today? What size are we targeting? What are we going to catch?
Tom, we got a 39-degree water today. A little chilly. We're coming off some cold snow run-in, but we're going to try to target some fish that are going to be ranging anywhere from 1 pound up to about 10-pound class. That's kind of what we've been seeing. Probably being some 4s, 5s. Hopefully we'll get some good pulling action on these fly rods. Give the folks a little something different, and let them know there still is hope in all this cold weather we've been having.
Now look, Chuck's going to hold you to that 10-pound deal, okay? I don't know, you've never fished with Chuck, I have, but he's going to hold you to that.
Now they say Chuck's the man on the fly rod.
You're in trouble already, okay?
Let's go catch a fish.
Absolutely, let's get them.
Glad to have you.
Chuck, what you got
Tommy,
there?
Look out, boys. Let's see what we got here.
I'm not the least bit surprised that Chucky has hooked up already.
Captain, this feels like a fairly decent fish.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Get him, Chuck.
Feels like a
Watch
fairly
that
good
anchor line
fish.
over there.
Yep, anchor line's off the back.
Anchor line's off. Come on, fish. You got to come the other way. Come on around for me now.
How's that feel, Chuck?
It feels a lot better than the one I had on the cast before this. Oh, my. Let's see. Come on, partner.
Mitch, as Chuck would say, you need to get used to this position with Chuck. Chuck is hooked up, and that's just where he likes to be.
That is the target species.
That is him
boys.
right there. Pretty work,
right
Chuck.
Up that way.
Pretty work, Chuck.
Oh, Captain, pretty work.
Job,
here.
Mitch.
That ought to be about a, what, maybe 4-pounder, 4.5, something like that.
Maybe we'll stay in that range today.
Look at that.
I'm gonna say.
Look at that. Look at that fly right in his mouth, man.
I'm gonna say that is just right.
Buddy,
that's
my
handiwork right there. I will say that. I'll take credit for that one right there.
That's awesome. think we found what they want.
If we weren't on TV or anything, I'd say I caught that fish. You know how that
boys.
goes.
Well,
Fish
let's
stories,
get him,
buddy.
Let's get him back.
All right, pretty work,
Captain, you want
Chuck.
to just push that hook right out?
Nicely
I'm
done.
not barbless. I'll push that barb down. I've got some
Yeah,
pliers
I
in my
need to.
pocket or whatever.
Actually,
Probably need to do that myself.
man, it went right through his bottom of his tongue.
There we go.
There you go.
All right.
Chuck, here.
Get
Man,
that.
I hate to put those pliers anywhere near that fly like that.
All right, boy. First,
All right.
first rockfish of the year, man.
Good for you.
Go home. Good gosh, that's some cold water.
I know you're a happy man, that's all I can tell you.
I'm gonna do that again, boys.
I bet you are.
Tommy, we're using an absolutely simple little, setup. We've basically got about 3 to 3.5 foot of 15-pound fluorocarbon just straight to the fly, and using clouds or minnows with probably medium to extra large eyes in typical rockfish colors, hot
Yeah.
pink, chartreuse, and white, and just basically stripping, getting them down as deep as we can to these fish.
Yeah, well, and of course with these heavy sinking lines, Chuck, we use as you say, a 3 foot or 4 foot leader as opposed to a 9 or 10 or 12 foot leader if we were albacore fishing or using a floating line or an intermediate line. You want that fly to be down there with the head of the end of your fly line, and 9 feet away on a 9 foot leader is just not going to do the trick. So you got to use those short leaders with these heavy sinking fly lines, that's for sure.
Well, I tell you what, they certainly get down there in your face. I don't think we're gonna have any trouble catching some.
No, sir. No, sir. All right, Chucky.
Hooked up, Tommy. All right, buddy.
I'm at least trying to catch up with you a little bit here. Somehow or another. I don't know if I've got, well, wait a minute here.
Don't be like I did. I thought I had him under control a while ago and he took off.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, it feels good to get tugged back. As you say, Chuck, a little pullage. There's nothing wrong with that.
Little silver flash down
There he
That
is.
is the
That's
target,
the
buddy.
man right there.
Flash, bud.
Let me bring him right to you. There you go. Chucky, you said you would be the only one to catch one today. How about that? Just right. Just right. This is my first fish of 2010, Mitch. First bite I have gotten this year. So,
Man, I'm glad
how
to
about
be
that?
able to have you guys on board and put you on these fish. I
Little
tell you.
little rattling clouser minnow. I don't know that mine's bigger than Chuck's yet.
Chuck's got you on the side.
That's perfect. That's the way I planned that, Mitch.
That is exactly. He's telling you the truth.
Hey,
Okay.
you take 'em anywhere
All right.
you can get 'em right now, though.
Me too. Me too. You go on back.
Now, Tommy, it's a bunch of folks that are not catching rockfish in the month of February in North Carolina,
Listen, I'm just.
Especially on fly.
especially on the fly rod. Pretty work, my friend.
Listen, thank you, sir. Thank you. Appreciate
Nicely
it.
done.
It's always a pleasure. All right, boys. I am hooked up again.
Captain, you
Chuck.
have put us on these fish, man. This is something.
Chuck, what's wrong with you?
I'm gonna have to tighten up back at the back of the boat.
You are
man.
definitely gonna have to tighten up here. Uh-oh, wrong species, but a new species for me.
Tommy, that's a gar now. That ain't bad, buddy. We'll take that.
Yeah.
Don't lip him.
I'm gonna let Mitch get in there and take care of that. Mitch, what have I caught?
Got a gar here, Tom.
Well, that is a new species for me, period, on the fly or otherwise.
On the
Look
fly.
at that, look at that.
Beautiful
Spot
fish,
tails.
Tommy.
I'll let him handle this fish, okay? I don't want to get in there and lip this one or anything like that and let Mitch take the fly out and that kind of stuff, but interesting looking fish.
Now, these things get big around here, Tom.
Yeah.
This is a small specimen, but I tell you, it grows some brutes, and a lot of times we catch these along with the stripers,
Yeah.
same areas.
Well, Chuck and I are members of the Cape Lookout Fly Fishers Club down in Moorhead, and we score points in a year-long club tournament for catching different species of fish. So I'm going to turn that one in at least to the tournament and score some points. That's right. That's right.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, I'll take that. Let me check my leader here. Some teeth on that thing.
Yes, sir. Yep, always check your tie after you tie on one of those. There
Yeah.
you go.
Tommy, when that wind picks up, it feels like wintertime. When it lays out, it feels like spring. So it's like being here on two completely different days. Hold on, boys. Look
Chuck,
out.
what
All
have
right,
you
Tommy,
done?
let's see what we have got here, partner.
We were talking about the weather.
That took the windshield right off of it.
Yeah,
That's right, that's
I don't
right.
feel nearly as cold like
Chuck's
this.
warmed right up.
Come on, partner. Stay attached. All I want to do is look at you.
Yeah, be the
If you
target
do your
species.
part, I will do mine. I believe that's going to be a rockfish.
That's him. Oh
I
yeah,
haven't
Chuck.
caught many of them, but I know
Oh
that's
yeah.
what it feels like.
You haven't caught many of them when this month? Is that what you're talking about?
Oh, buddy
Look how
Ray.
he's eating that thing, Chuck.
He has got that fly,
Here you go,
that
Mitch.
little
Let me
barbless
have
fly.
that. Get that out of your way there.
He's got that barbless fly in a perfect spot. There's no way you could have lost that fish, barbless or anything. It's inside his mouth.
He's inhaled it.
When that little guy hit that thing, it felt like just a dunk. I fished with Lefty Cray one time, and he said it felt like somebody dropped a ball-peen hammer on your fly. And I have always admired ball-peen hammers ever
I
since
hear
that day.
Well,
Tell you what,
well, you
reach
got
down
him
there,
too.
Captain, and get that fly. Just push it right out with that. Well, this barbless, it ought to come right out on him.
He really did eat that thing.
Yeah, he
I mean, it's
You got my thumb in the way, it's what's holding it back. There we go.
got you.
pretty
a little
work, Chuck.
chartreuse and white rattlefly. Tell you what, he's got 10 pounds of willing if he ain't got 10 pounds of weight on it.
That fish looks good February, anytime. Anytime.
We'd be sitting at the coast watching the weather report,
he,
the Weather
looks,
Channel.
he looks good. He looks good. All right. It's
God, that
time.
water's cold.
It's time for another one.
Good job, fellas.
All right. There you go,
Thank
Mitch.
you for providing the flies, Tommy. I'll get you a cookie.
Yeah, thank you so much, Chuck. I appreciate that. You're on. Chuck,
Go
what
on,
have you
Mitch.
done?
I've gone to the other side, Tommy. Going to the other side, to the dark side
I
here.
guess. Well, come on. Come on
I
up here
think
where the
that's the
fishing's
target.
really good.
I think that's the target, Captain. Grab that net for me,
Got it
partner.
right here. Come around.
Come on, Mitch.
Lord have mercy.
Got that one.
He's not that 10-pounder, but he's certainly,
Oh, that's a worm, Chuck. Gosh knows you can do
that's-
better than that.
that's the target species.
That's all
buddy.
you
That is a
catch is them
rockfish.
worms.
Look at that, boys. I need to get my dentist to hold that. My dentist is about 5'4" and 135 pounds. He'd make that fish look really
Make it
big.
look big.
And figure out how to make him look big. But like I say, I am tickled to death with him because this is still a plus. Anytime you can catch rockfish in February on a fly rod, you've done a day's work,
Well,
partner.
that's our 1 pound class. And
Yeah,
we've hit it in the middle, so now we're going nothing to do but go higher.
there you go.
Come on, Chuck. You can do better than that.
We got that little fly out. Like I say, he's gonna grow up. He'll be at Weldon and he'll
Willing.
be up there.
That's it.
He'll be
Willing.
up there getting me some more.
Pretty work.
Go back and
job,
tell
Chuck.
your mother I
Pretty work.
miss her now.
That's not the first time I've heard that one either, Mitch.
Guys, next time, next time I get one hooked up, Tommy, I'll hand you this. I mean, it'll be real simple.
And I mean, I
Don't
know that I am.
That was the Chuck stimulus program.
Oh my gosh. I don't know if I should have to put up with this all the time or not. Just remember when I'm polling you around in the marsh one day, and
Man, it's got to get a lot warmer before I have to apologize for
oh
this.
my gosh, I'll just lean over on the polling platform and throw you out of the boat as
It won't be the-
paybacks, okay?
It won't be the first time you've thrown me in
It
the
won't,
bush.
and it might not be the last time either. You keep this up. Chuck, you were sort of casting to that little stump over there. You said you let it sink down about a 10 or 12 count. What kind of stripping action were you giving it there?
Tommy, once I got some depth on it, I was just, a couple little quick pops and then drop, couple little, quick pops and drop. And
Okay.
a lot of times these rockfish here, like this one.
Good man, good
Oh
man.
my, come on fish.
Where did you
Stay
get that
tight,
bite
partner.
now?
He was in front of that stump. Watch those boat wakes.
All right, I got you.
Oh,
Get out
my.
the way, Mitch.
Come
you
on, partner.
on. Come on.
Come on, partner.
There we go.
I think that's what we're
Hold
looking
on,
for
Chuck.
right there. Get ready,
Yes,
Mitch.
sirree.
There you go, Cappy. Pretty
Nicely
work.
done. Nicely done. Listen to you laughing.
February. February. Look at that fly, Tommy.
Got him just right. Now, he didn't eat it like the other ones did.
He didn't eat it.
He didn't
but I
swallow
tell
it
you,
good, but he's hooked.
That's the
Just like
second
he
little
wants to.
tap I've had in there, so it might be another one or
Just
two
like
in
you
there.
want. I've just switched back to the same fly again. Must be
Oh,
something to
man.
it.
I got no complaints for a day in February
No sirree,
catching
no
rockfish.
sirree. Pretty work.
Thank you, Captain.
Yes, sir.
Nicely done.
Good call there. Yes, sir. All right.
Tommy, that fish was to the left of the stump right out in front of.
All right.
Joe simply put, it was cold that day.
It was. Air temperature was cold. We had all dressed for it, especially running in the boats. And again, the water temperature that day was at a point where you just really don't know if the fish are going to be active or not. And then using flies. But we're fishing with two guys that know how to use a fly rod and spend a lot of time on the coast. They both are from the Crystal Coast, Carteret County, and spend a lot of time fishing for saltwater species. And so they know what they're doing with it and what they need to do to get down to the fish. Once we determined where the fish were at about 20 feet, just a matter of finding fish that wanted to strike, and so it made the day.
Well, it was cold, but we had to rig right, so let's talk about that. Let's go to gear time.
Tommy, we've had an amazing morning down here. We left Harker's Island and got up here. It was almost at the freezing mark, and water temperatures were 39 and got up to about 42 around lunchtime. But we've had a blast, and for me, an amazing day in February catching rockfish. I don't get to catch rockfish in the freshwater like this as much, but we came down with a couple of fly rods, some sinking lines, and we captured Mitch Blake down this way, and Mitch put us on some fish, and your flies sealed the deal for us.
Yeah, well, Chuck, it has been a great day, number one, and it was nice to do it in February. Like you said, we did leave Harker's Island. We left the ocean this morning, came inland, so that was a nice change of pace for us. And yeah, fly lines, fly rods today, of course. We're using heavy sinking lines. I think you've got a 400 grain sinking line. I've got a 450 grain sinking line, and they probably sink 7, 8, 9 inches per second. So we're making a cast and counting down 25, 35, 45 sometimes, and then changing our retrieve, according to what the fish are biting at the moment. And using flies, that we would use on the Roanoke River, perhaps in the springtime, big, heavy weighted flies. I think some of the ones we had earlier today had rattles in them. Mitch had sent us some pictures of some of the swim baits that he was using, and they mirror exactly what a clouser minnow looks like. And he did say make a rattle, so I sat down at my fly desk and glued a couple of rattles on and just tied a clouser minnow sort of around the rattle.
Well, I can tell you
so that worked great.
I can tell you for a fact that the flies and the techniques that we brought are absolutely useless. So without the local knowledge that we got from Mitch, and we would have been lost like babes in the woods down here without Captain Mitch. And,
and maybe we taught him something too, about fly fishing a little bit as well.
Definitely.
But certainly Mitch has shown us a great time. I have no idea where we are, how we got here. I don't know how I'm going to get home, but Mitch has done a great job and put us on the fish. And Mitch, we appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun today.
Well, when we can't make it on the coast in January and February, I don't think we'll have any trouble getting up this way. But it's been great to fish with you again.
As usual, Chuck.
Captain,
Sure has.
I can't tell you how much fun we've had on a
Mitch,
February
appreciate
morning.
Appreciate it.
We've enjoyed it very much. Thank you.
Hopefully y'all beats kickback, watching it on TV like most people are this time of year. But anyways, to get out here in the field and actually give it a go, see what it's made of. So appreciate the tips, appreciate everything, and
Yes,
hope you
sir.
enjoyed it today.
We had a blast.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, fellas, for that valuable information. We hope you find it useful. Now, if you'd like to go on one of the guided trips, call the number that you see on your screen there, and I hope that you'll have a good day. Now, Donna's in the kitchen, and she's always got a special recipe, but today she has a recipe for fish tacos. Get pen and paper. I think you're going to like this one on the Carolina Outdoor Journal.
Today in the kitchen we're making fish tacos. We're going to make ours today with flounder, but you can use any type of mild fish that you like or you happen to have. You can also, instead of using fish, if you have scallops or if you have some shrimp, you can use that as well and make shrimp tacos, which are great as well. We're going to start out with our flounder, and I've just kind of cut mine into not bite-sized pieces, but into nice, we're going to put 2 fillets in each taco. So you're going to get a lot of meat in there, but we didn't make it too small. So we're gonna, we've got our flounder and it's all ready to go. Then we're gonna take our butter, and I'm gonna bake mine in the oven. So we're gonna put our chicken flavored butter in our bag, and then we're gonna take our flounder and we're gonna put it in and give it a shake. You can also, if you'd like, you can squeeze a little bit of lime juice on top of this, which would be really good too, to give it a little bit extra flavor. And these boxes just want to fall over for me. So here we go. So we're going to give it a toss and coat it really well. And then we're going to place it out on our baking sheet that I've lined with foil so that I don't have to clean up, and bake this at 400 degrees for about 10 minutes. So while it's in the oven, we can go ahead and get our toppings for our tacos. And what I like to do when I'm having this as for a party, which would be great to do this as a party, because you can go ahead and just have everything ready, toss your fish in your butter, put it on the pan, go ahead and bake it, and then you're ready to go once it comes out. So what I would do is I would go ahead and, while this is baking, if I was doing this for my family, I would go ahead and get my toppings ready. So we're going to do some different toppings instead of your traditional lettuce and tomato and sour cream and salsa and that type of thing, which are great as well. We're going to use some fresh cilantro, and you're going to peel this off or give it a nice fine chop, put it in a bowl so that people can come by and kind of top their tacos the way they want it. We're going to use some great fresh tomatoes. I just kind of cut those into little half moons, which are great. They're little bite size. And then we love avocado at our house. So I have some avocado here, and you're going to juice it with a little bit of lime juice and maybe sprinkle some kosher salt on top of it, and it's really great. You can eat that all by itself. And then we're going to use some small tortillas. You can use corn or you can use flour. And then a lot of times you can just pop these in the microwave if you want. But what I like to do is I like to take my cast iron skillet, maybe spray it with a little bit of nonstick spray or drizzle it with a little olive oil, and then just kind of place my tortilla in the pan and just kind of warm it on either side. It just kind of crisps it up a little bit and makes it a little bit yummy. So to do this, so I just put it all out like a salad bar. So just make a taco bar and then have your fish, and people can come along and just fill their taco and dress it the way they want to. You can also have some sour cream, because that's always great to hold everything together, and maybe some fun, unusual cheeses as well. So this is what mine look like, the way I've done them, is I have my fish, which is nice and crispy and crunchy, and then I just topped it with some cilantro leaves, some tomato, and some avocado, and it's just a great, nice, refreshing meal that's quick and easy, and it's also a great item to serve at a party. So I hope you enjoyed the fish tacos, and I look forward to seeing you next time here on Simple Cooking.
Thanks, Donna, for that recipe. I think the kids would like that one. Joe, let's go back, talk about our fishing trip. Big day, but it was a cold day.
Well, it was a cold day, and I think that's what made it a special day, was to show that you could take a fly rod and clouds or minnow and go for striped bass, you know, with 39-degree water temperature. But you need to know what you're doing and how to fish it in deep water. That's a little different situation than most of your fly fishing situations that you come up against. But the fish were there. Again, we didn't have a big window of opportunity. We fished for about 3 hours, and the fish bit during that time, and the guys were able to catch a few and make it happen. But these fish are some of the same fish that will eventually run up the Kashai and up the Roanoke River to spawn. And I think that deeper water just holds these fish that time of year. And if you've never tried it, go give it a try. You'll have a lot of fun.
Next time I go, I think I'm going to pick a warmer day. For Joe Albee, I'm John Moore. Thanks for joining us today on the Carolina Outdoor Journal.
Make sure to visit our website for more information.
Grady White boats are known for uncompromising quality through exceptional attention to detail. On every model, from 18 to 45 feet, we incorporate exclusive features and quality components that you won't find on any other boat brands. Our exclusive CV2 hull design is ranked highest in every third-party survey done in the marine industry. So every day on the water will be a great day, no matter the conditions. Ask any Grady White owner and they'll tell you, get the Grady.